So I've been playing a lot of VR, and damn is it fun. But while I was making the Half-Life Alyx review, I found this. This is the world record for Superhot VR, coming in at 6 minutes and 38 seconds. Superhot in virtual reality. That's really fast, and I can't say I'm not surprised. So I think it'd be fun if we looked at a couple interesting games to see what exactly it's like to speedrun a game in virtual reality. But to be a speedrunner, you have to be fast. Like, really fucking fast. You gotta be athletic. You need to be precise. You're not dealing with just clicking buttons on controllers in the comfort of your own chair. This is immersion. When you mess up, your hands don't ache. Your body aches. You writhe in pain on the floor because you don't know if you can continue this run, or if you can even do it all over again. This is 3 dimensions. Depth perception. Your run is made by your own strength. This is speedrunning in VR. But before we jump into some of the games I want to showcase, where did this all start? Well, I didn't really know until I did some digging. So I asked around the unofficial, official VR Speedrun Discord server, and a nice gent by the name of Bigfoot, who is the creator of a couple Discord bots and some timing and Twitch bots for VR speedrunning. He directed me to a couple older speedruns on the speedrun.com website. And now, without further ado, I present to you the oldest VR speedrun that I could find. Look at it. The grace, the speed, the care put into each and every movement. Truly a remarkable run. And speaking of remarkable, let's look at our first game. So the current world record for Boneworks is held by a user named Psych. But what exactly is this guy doing? Because it looks like he's just kind of crouching on the floor and hopping around like a frog. Well, here's how speedruns work in Boneworks. So, for those of you who don't know, Boneworks is a VR game that takes cues from Half-Life and has had some of their builds shared with Valve during its development. The game prides itself on physics and combat, especially with guns, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have its own little quirks to help people complete the game faster. Everything that this game prides itself on is completely thrown out of the window as the person who's playing phases through walls and breaks windows and exits the game world, even though it's like totally something that you can do in the game. Something that's used in Boneworks speedruns is bunny hopping, which is used in other source games like Half-Life and Half-Life 2, but it's not as wildly fast as it is in Half-Life 2. But according to the guide for speedrunning Boneworks, if you want to get a consistently fast speed when bunny hopping in the game, you need to be in a skier pose for the majority of the run. Man, I feel the speed already. A lot of this speedrun involves that, and I mean a lot. There's also a couple wall clips used in the runs too to make sure that you can complete the game faster, as well as some hefty platforming that could possibly kill the run, as well as some flying by standing on props and using gravity items, and some neglect for the story that's all about as flavorful as a LaCroix, but that's neither here nor there, now is it? And that's pretty much it for Boneworks speedruns. The current world record for Boneworks is 16 minutes and 14 seconds, held by Psych. So let's move on to the next game. The new Walking Dead VR game is a fantastic game that pits you against bad guys and the undead alike. Your choices matter when it comes down to the outcome of the story. But when it comes to speedruns, yeah, pretty much scratch that. You climb some trees, break your ankles, and clip through the main map, which has the end of the game loaded in for some reason. The world record is 5 minutes and 24 seconds, and is held by Samaban. Alright, next game. You thought this was only in the intro, huh? Well, fuck you. Superhot VR is the VR version of the titular FPS title where time moves when you do. The game is a shorter version of the original game, but it's crafted specifically for VR. And just like the original game, it still has a little timer that tells you how long it took you to beat a level in the in-game time, as time moves when you do, and in real time. So speedrunning this game is a huge no-brainer. Like seriously, are you stupid? Why wouldn't you speedrun this game? The thing is, there's no glitches in Superhot VR that you can do to finish levels faster. But there is a little trick that you can do right now in the comfort of your own headset. When you finish killing a group of enemies in Superhot VR, a little pyramid will appear. You need to grab that to move forward in the level. However, when you grab it, any weapons you have will disappear, so you have to use what the game gives you when it comes to completing the game. But if you grab that little triangle, and the split second after grabbing it you grab a weapon, you can take that weapon with you to the next area. This is used heavily in the game, and the consistency for it is so good that it's essential for speedruns. I was going to call it gun smuggling, because A, that's illegal, and B, every speedrunning video has one super cool named glitch showcase, like the backwards long jump, or like the anus skip, but some guy already named it. It's called the gun show loophole. Whatever. I thought gun smuggling would have been cooler. God, this is what I get for trying to do other content. I don't get to name cool glitches in speedrunning videos. The hell? The world record for Superhot is 6 minutes and 38 seconds without loads, and it's held by Trickster00. What the fuck? Alright, what else do we have? Man, I sure do like Rick and Morty. Accounting is a game made by Justin Roiland for VR when it was new. Then he added some more stuff to it and sold it for $11. The whole point of this game is to show off some funny and wild worlds in VR, accompanied by the funny man's voice himself and sometimes other people. Basically, the only strategy for this game is to know how to clip yourself out of bounds and to know when exactly the game wants you to pick stuff up. Watching it is, well, it's hectic. The world record for Accounting Plus is 6 minutes and 44 seconds and is held by Emil _. Alright, so are there any other games that I can talk about? Alright, well, you kind of had to expect this one, right? So I'm going to explain Half-Life Alyx to you guys again because I know none of you watched the review of it. So, Half-Life Alyx is the first proper VR game made by Valve. It takes place between Half-Life 1 and 2 and features amazing gunplay and a fantastic story. So, how do you speedrun Half-Life Alyx? Well, you need to do a couple things to speedrun the game. You have to be set in the continuous motion option. You're not going to use it because you'll be teleporting most of the time, but the reason that you use continuous motion is because of the jump feature. You can use the teleporting to wall breach into certain areas, and by pausing and unpausing the game, you can get rid of the orange vignette that shows up when you stick your head through walls, and then you can see the unfinished world. Using this trick allows you to teleport through walls and skip a lot of the really long cutscenes for the end of the game. The world record for Half-Life Alyx is 27 minutes and 53 seconds without loading screens, and is held by DillyDogs19. There's a lot of really interesting ways to break games, and I guess that VR is really no exception to the speedrunning world, so let me know if you think I missed something else when it comes to speedrunning in VR. You can leave a comment or something. And also, I really don't like saying this, but if you could you share this video? I need all the help I can get. Alright, you guys have a good one.